Oh yeah, welcome to Fractions in Algebra class with Mr. Collins. In our last class, we looked at algebraic expressions and we didn't involve any fractions. In this class, we're going to be involving fractions. Are you ready? Great. So today, we shall be looking at addition of algebraic fractions. We'll be looking at subtraction of algebraic fractions. We'll look at multiplication. We'll look at division of algebraic fractions. The same way we have addition of numbers, subtraction of numbers, multiplication of numbers, and division of numbers, we also have it in algebraic expressions. Are you ready? Okay. The first example is popping up. Okay. This is a division of algebraic expression. You have 6m square n divided by 8n. Now, of course, 6m square n is 6 times m times n. And the denominator becomes 8 times n. So what do? Just cancel out. 2 into 6, 3. 2 into 8 is 4. Then we have one n there that can cancel the other n. And what you have left on the numerator is 3 times m times n. And in the denominator, what you have is 4. Because there's no n anymore. And 2 divided 8 to give you 4. 2 divided 6 to give you 3. So what is left now is 3m squared over 4. And if you look at it very well, it cannot be simplified further. Isn't it simple? Of course, it's very simple. Now let's look at example 2. 3x over 4 plus 5x over 8. This is a case of addition. Now remember, in fraction, the first thing you do is to look for the LCM of the denominator. Yeah, the LCM of 4 and 8. Of course, you know what that is, right? Yes, the LCM is 8. So yeah, 4 into 8 is going to give you 2. Then 2 times 3x. And that gives you 6x, right? You do the same thing for the other one. You divide the LCM with the denominator. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 5x will give you 5x. So of course, we have done that in our last class. 6x plus 5x. And I know you know that 6x plus 5x will give you 11x. Now this is an improper fraction, right? Yes, because 11 is bigger than 8. So all you need to do is to convert it to proper fraction or mixed fraction. So 8 we go into 11 ones, and the remainder is 3 over 8. That's a pretty lower class mathematics, and I know you know that. Then of course the x, that's the simple answer. You see, it's just like the way you solve your fractions. The only difference is that there's a variable involved, and we are trying to add up coefficients that are fractions. You just add them up by looking for the LCM and dividing the LCM with denominators, multiply the numerator, and you simplify. So now we go to the next example. Are you ready? Correct. Now this is a case of subtraction. And if you look at it clearly, subtraction of algebraic fractions. Now you have 7 minus 9, 7 over 9b minus 5 over 12b. Now as usual, we are supposed to look for the LCM of the denominators. The denominators are 9b and 12b. I know you'll be wondering, how am I going to look for the LCM of 9b and 12b? It's simple and it's right there. LCM is still the same way. You have 9b, you have 12b. You're just going to look for the prime number that can go into any of them, and you have 2. 2 can simplify 12 to make it 6, but can't simplify 9, so you just bring 9 down and whatever alphabet that is with it. So you keep using 2 until 2 can no longer do its work. Then you bring in 3. Bring in all the prime numbers that can help do the LCM. And when you are done with dividing the figure, you discover that the alphabet are still there, and you'll be like, how am I going to take care of B then? Of course, B can only divide B, so you just bring in B, right? And B turns the B's to 1. And that's how we got the 36B. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 3 is 36, and 36 times B is B. That's what we got our LCM from. Now, let's go back to the question. Now we know our LCM to be 36B. We divide the LCM with the denominators. 9B, you do 36B divided by 9B. You know, we've taken care of fractions in algebra when it comes to division. So that's 36B divided by 9B. B cancels B, and 9 into 36 gives you 4. 4 times the numerator, which is 7, gives 28. Similarly, you divide the LCM again with 12B, which is the denominator of the second fraction. And if you do that, of course, B cancels B, and 12 into 36 gives you 3. The 3 times the numerator, which is 5, gives you 15. Now all you need to do next is to just subtract, or more like simplify. 28 minus 15 is 13, and we have the 36B underneath. And of course, 13 over 36B can be simplified, isn't it? Yes, it can be simplified. And when you simplify that, can you tell me what you're going to get? Yeah, you put the answer in the comment section. What do I get when I simplify 13 over 36B? I'm not going to tell you, but I want you to put it in the comment section of this very content page. Okay, so now we'll be moving on to more interesting examples. Okay, now this is example 4, and if you notice, the numerator, it's not just a term but 2 terms. So the first thing that should come to our mind is these terms are together. These terms are together. So as usual, we have to look for the LCM. LCM of 4 and 5 is pretty simple, and it's 20. Of course, the next step, you divide the LCM with the denominator, and you use the answer to multiply the numerator. So if we go with 4, which is the first denominator, 4 into 20 gives you 5. Now 5 is to multiply the numerator. And if you look at the numerator carefully, it consists of 2 terms. So you have to bracket them to remind you that there are 2 terms and must be treated together. So if 5 is going to multiply the numerator, 5 will multiply both of them together. That is why 5 is at the front of the bracket. Remember, we told you that whenever a number is opening the bracket, it multiplies all the terms inside. So the same thing goes for the second fraction. The denominator there is 5. 5 into 20 is 4. Then 4 times the numerator as well, which is 4s plus 2. Now another thing you should take note of is the minus sign in between the fractions. And the minus sign is also appearing in the second set before the 4, multiplying the bracket. Remember, when there's a minus sign in front of the bracket, the sign inside the bracket will change. If it was addition before, it will change to subtraction. If it was subtraction, it will change to addition. So in opening the bracket, 5 bracket 5s plus 3, 5 will just multiply the 2 terms inside the bracket. 5 times 5 gives us 25x, plus 5 times 3 gives us 15. Now the second set, which is minus 4, opening the bracket that has 4s plus 2. So when minus 4 opens the bracket, the plus inside the bracket will change. That's why you see minus 4 times 4s still gives us minus 16s. Then minus 4 times plus 2, you see the plus changed to minus, became minus 8. So the next step is you collect the like terms, and you see now that the families of x are together, 25x minus 16x. When you do that, you get 9x, and plus 15 minus 8, when you compute that, you get 7. again over 20. And that is the simplified form, and that's the answer. So you agree with me that fractions in algebra is quite interesting and it's a build-up of what we have done before. Next class promises to be very interesting. See you in our next class. Bye.